Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
I don't know what happened. Maybe it was just political theater to avoid the media party being mean to them, to avoid some other consequence. I don't know. But something changed. I sense the senior politicians, Kenney and those around him, never really believed in the lockdown because, would you look at this? These pictures were just published yesterday. It's Jason Kenney and his Health Minister Tyler Shandro and other senior staff having a luxury white tablecloth dinner, bottles of wine and whiskey, servants, on a patio roof of a tower overlooking the city of Edmonton. What a glorious spring night. They're the masters of the universe, living the high life. Except they were caught. See, in Alberta right now, you can't go to a restaurant and have that many people sit together. Here are the official rules as of June 1st for restaurants. Restaurants, outdoor patio dining for up to 4 household members per table, or 3 people if diners who live alone are with their 2 close contacts. Yeah, okay. Look at that picture again. They are at an outdoor patio. They're each from different households. There's more than 3 people there, more than 4 people there. And then, of course, there's the waiters, the servants. What is that place, by the way? Is that some secret government restaurant? Looks like it. Table, tablecloth, waiters, service, bottles of liquor. But it's in a government building. Is that a secret government restaurant? Because no other restaurants are allowed in Alberta right now, except as I've described above, no indoor restaurants, just patios with strict limits. So what is this place? Can I book a table there? Or is it just for the bosses? Well, that is a very special restaurant. It's in a very special building. Its nickname is the Sky Palace. Isn't that perfect? It's where the king and his court can look at their kingdom. They're the master of all they survey. They maybe can look down with a telescope to make sure the little people aren't gathering in groups of more than 4 while they do. That Sky Palace, as it's called, was actually built under the tenure of Alison Redford, one of the least successful premiers of Alberta, the shortest lived premier who was actually elected in the dying days of the Progressive Conservative Party about a decade ago. And one of the things that sealed her fate was this Sky Palace. It was just so out of touch with the times and the temperament. It would have had not just luxury offices, but an apartment for the premier and her family. It was a private penthouse at the top of a skyscraper just for the premier, nearly $3 million to renovate of tax dollars in a government building. And it was so shocking. It was the final proof that the PCs had to go and that they were thinking of the government as their own property. Surely a right-wing successor party like the United Conservative Party would know that. Surely the former boss of the Alberta Taxpayers Federation would know that. Surely in a time of high unemployment and recession and lockdowns, that luxury Sky Palace would have been avoided, would have been padlocked, never to be seen, never to be used, like a haunted house in a mansion, a room. We never go into that wing. We never go into that room. Death lies there, but there it is, and there they were. It reminds me of Animal Farm by George Orwell. I just reread that book this year. I recommend you do too. When the animals had their rebellion against the human farmers, they drove out the cruel farmer. They had a series of rules, as you know. But as the pigs, the ruling class, became a bit too comfortable as the new dictators, the rules were changed. One of them was a rule against drinking alcohol. Let me quote from the book. Muriel, reading over the 7 commandments to herself, noticed that there was yet another of them which the animals had remembered wrong. They had thought the 5th commandment was, no animal shall drink alcohol, but there were 2 words that they had forgotten. Actually, the commandment read, no animal shall drink alcohol to excess. Yeah, no, that wasn't the original commandment. That's what the pigs changed it to. I don't know if you remember that book, Animal Farm, but it ends when the pigs are having a meeting with the neighboring farmer over alcoholic drinks, and they're gambling, and they're negotiating terrible things for the farm, the things they rebelled against originally. And it became impossible to tell the pigs from the men anymore. Let me just read the last sentences of the book. 12 voices were shouting in anger, and they were all alike. No question now what had happened to the faces of the pigs. The creatures outside looked from pig to man, and from man to pig, and from pig to man again, but already it was impossible to say which was which. That's the last sentence in the book, Animal Farm. And that's the thing, that image of all the places, of all the things, the luxury, not just luxury, that patio, that sky palace, that building that caused the undoing of the PCs, that led in many ways to the creation of the new UCP party, that made it necessary for the former Taxpayers Federation leader to come back from Ottawa to Edmonton to liberate the province. That is the place they went for their luxury dinner, with liquor, with white linens, with servants, looking over the city like kings. And the Health Minister, Tyler Shandro, the one who ordered the arrest and jailing of the Christian pastors, who ordered the arrest of Chris Scott for opening his diner in Mirror, Alberta. Tyler Shandro was at this dinner party? Yeah, no, I'm so sorry. Because I've known Jason Kenney for most of my life, and he truly has been a conservative champion, but this bell cannot be unrung. The polls say he's going to lose the next election, which is incredible. And those polls were taken before these photos were published. He's going to make Rachel Notley the NDP premier again. I just think it's going to happen. I never would have thought it. I never would have imagined them going to the Sky Palace, but really, what's the Sky Palace when you're fine with jailing pastors for a month? If you can live with that, you can live with this. I don't think they're going to be in government for long. The only question is, will their own party walk with them into the next election? That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.